Hey, welcome to Viking Preparedness. I am PJ. My, what a fascinating world in which we live, huh? If you are an American and you saw what happened this weekend in the House, you know that we have a government that is not responsive to the will of the people. We have a uniparty, and they don't really care what you say or what you stand for. They're going to do what they want to do with your money, by the way. Do you think it's going to get better? We are on the cusp of World War III. I'm not the only guy saying it. It's not just preppers on YouTube saying it. There's big think tank big brains on Brad people saying it. We're on the cusp of World War III. Some would argue it's already started. It just hasn't, for Americans and Western Europeans, it hasn't got kinetic yet, but it's fixing to. We're going to have war in Europe. We're going to have war on the subcontinent. We're going to have war in Asia. And who knows, we may have war in South America. This is not that video, but times are interesting, are they not? We're getting hacked, and when the war actually starts, hacking is going to be huge. Things are going to go down. Things are going to fail. 911 went down in a handful of states the other day. FBI just put out that the Chinese have infiltrated so many different systems, and they're ready to just make them all fall down, cascade at will when they want to with a hack attack. We've got barges that mysteriously are losing power, kind of like that Navy ship that went, what was it? I think it was Chinese that flew over it, wasn't it? Flew over a Navy ship a couple years ago and all the power went out. Well, now we've got barges losing power and big container ships and crashing into piers and closing them down. I'm sure it's all a coincidence. Not. We live in troubled times, and they're fixing to get worse. It's probably why you're watching a prepper channel, right? What do I do, PJ? One of the things we talk about here, the Shofarians do, is we're set. Compared to 99 points whatever of preppers, we are doing really well. And yet we have plans to leave here quickly. If that should become necessary. We hope it doesn't, but we have plans, as should you. And so to that end, we have developed lists and done practice packing of vehicles and trailers and things like that. It's like, this is what we're going to take with us if we have to leave here and go to our alternate location. We're taking these things. And unfortunately, we can't afford doubles where we have some things here and some things there. We got to take stuff with us. And so when you're going through what you're going to take, and you could have the same thing. You could live in Hurricane Alley, right? And it's like a hurricane's coming again, and we're going to relocate away from the coast. If you're worried about bank failures and then electricity grid going down, if you're worried about it getting too hot and the grid overheating and cascading effects, power. I'm talking about power. And you have seen me on this channel before advertise like Oops power station, battery power station that you charge up with solar panels, and then you have long life battery to power your devices with. And it's big, and it's not cheap, right? Because it's good. So it wasn't cheap. Maybe you're thinking to yourself, we need some power, but I don't want to spend all that money. I only need to power like my laptop and my phone and a little light, string of LED lights or whatever. That's all I need. Well, dun dun dun. I introduce to you the Oops Exodus 600. And I'm going to talk about it and tell you some things cool about it. This is not technically an unboxing video, but I have it in the box. Oh, and I have an earplug. All right. We have several power stations, and one thing about them is they're generally heavy. It's like a 2-arm carry. This guy, the Oops 600 Exodus, weighs about the same as a gallon of milk, right? So you can deal with this little old frail person who's not doing enough push-ups. You can carry this. Let me put this cord over here. This thing, when it's called the OOPS 600, because it's got 600 watts of power, meaning if you look at devices and it says, you know, this uses 9 watts or this uses 7 watts or this uses whatever, this will power 600, so you can stack things and power them off of this. And a lot of devices that start up, when they, let's say it's running at 600 watts, some kind of device, maybe it's a circular saw or something, but when you start it up, it doubles quickly, it peaks. Well, this will handle a peak of 1200. That's all technical stuff, right? And if you're like me, because I'm not a technical guy, you're like, well, what does that mean in real terms, PJ? Glad you asked. This thing has powered, I've been using it for about a month now. This has powered my laptop. It charges my phones with a plum. And just to test it, I don't use it for that. Just to test it, I plugged my LED lights that light up our whole house. We're off grid, right? You're not, but you could be off grid at any time for a number of reasons that we kind of covered. And so having a little guy like this is so easy and convenient. You can take this thing anywhere you need it for power. Now, picture a very high-speed battery. It's called a LifePo 4. Again, I'm going to put links down below for all the technical stuff. But this battery is a really good battery as far as batteries that are solar charged or recharged goes. It can drain and build up and drain and build up. That'll kill a car battery. If you drain it and charge it and drain it and charge it, pretty soon it's dead. This will do it a bunch of times. It has 2 plugs right here. It has these little USB ports that you can plug your devices in, and I have. And then it has a 12-volt plug if you have things like for your car that you plug in to here. Like I said, it weighs about as much as a gallon of milk. And I think this is just the thing for many of you. You know, if you're not trying to power your whole house kind of thing, I don't think this is going to power a refrigerator very long. My refrigerator runs at 9 watts, and this is 600 watts, so it'll power it. But for how long? It says on here, how many watt hours was that? 256 watt hours. So if you had something that was 25 watts, like I said, my refrigerator runs at 9 watts. At 25 watts, you could run it for 10 hours, right, on one charge of this battery. How do you charge that battery up? For most of you, the way you're going to initially charge it up is with the provided cord. You plug it into the OOPS 600 Exodus, and then you plug it into your wall, and it charges like that. That'll get you charged once. But what if it's an ongoing event? What if you are bugging out and you're camping on the side of the road and you want to charge because for whatever reason your cell phone and laptop are still working, we haven't been EMP'd, and you want to get them tuned back up? How do you recharge that thing? Well, they also have these panels right here, and these are awesome, and it's so easy. You just plug these into the back. This is a 4-panel set. Oh, I gotta unsnap it. I'm not gonna set it up right now, but it's 4 solar panels right here. They're hard, and they have kickstands on the back, and you just face it into the sun, line them up, and stick your cord in. You could also, it wouldn't be as effective, but you could lay them flat, like lay them flat on top of a vehicle and plug it in, and it'll charge as you go, or on a rack, or, you know, on your camper top or whatever. Ideally with solar panels though, what you want is the panel to be at 90 degrees to the sun's rays to charge it fast. When I got this, it was, I'm gonna lie if I tell you, it was not charged very much. It was charged a little bit when it came, but not very much. And so I plugged it up on a sunny day like today, and it charged in less than an hour, 100%. Pew! And then I used it for days on my laptop and my phones and everything, and it didn't run out. That's how technical I am about it. It works, it's light, it's convenient. It's just the thing, if you have a cabin that you're gonna put somebody in and you don't have electricity running to it, use that. If you're going on a camp out, I just told people in a video this morning that you need to camp more. You need to get comfortable camping out. And if you're going to be using electronic devices, something that needs power, and you're somewhere where there's not plugins, and if there's plugins, you're probably not camping, you can take that. It's little. It doesn't take up any room. That is small. These are skinny. Right here, they're thin, so they'll fit anywhere that you're packing. There's a sale on for the next couple weeks, and then there's an additional 5% discount code on top of that. I will put that information in the description of this video, and I'll pin it in the comments so it'll be there twice for you. This is well priced. This is well within the reach of most of y'all. So I recommend that you get one and that you try it out. And of course, they've got all the warranties and everything. But I'm telling you, I've used Oops now, the Oops products, because I have a big Oops generator also. Over a year. My daughter just came, and a bigger one we had, I sent to her cabin with her, and because that's not hooked up to its own solar system, and they used it for the whole weekend. So I like Oops. They have good stuff. This is the Oops Exodus 600, because it'll power 600 watts. And again, if you're not familiar with this kind of thing, all electronic devices tell you how many watts they're drawing. And so you can do up to 600 watts with this thing. And like I said, 256 watt hours. So you do the number of watts times hours, and that's how you figure that math out. See, it wasn't a waste of time in 8th grade to learn that stuff. But I do recommend this. If I didn't, I don't want to drop it. If I didn't like it, you wouldn't be hearing about it. I like it. I think you'll like it too. All right. Details down below. I appreciate y'all. I will see you out there.